Hello and welcome to another episode of Aamchi Legends. Yes, I know we are a bit late in coming with the next episode, but the moment is worth it. We have a very special guest joining me from Chicago, Wadi Sanjay Savkur. Hi, Sanjay, and welcome to Aamchi Legends. Good to see you.
Oh, hi, Santosh. Good to see you
Hi.
too.
Yeah, I'm sure it's about 30 plus years ever since you left Talmakiwadi.
94, I left Talmakiwadi. Yeah.
Absolutely. Leaving Talmakiwadi must not have been easy, but of course you take Wadi along, and more so with Tarpan coming up, and of course a lot of stage shows that you've been in United States. I guess you've taken Wadi along with you, right? Because you were a very active stage artist in Talmakiwadi. Maybe you can share. We can start off with that.
Yeah, in fact, there's nothing like leaving Wadi. It's just physically leaving Wadi, but mentally, I'm always a Talmakiwadiite. So
Yeah,
that will never ever go away. So,
absolutely.
in fact, when I moved here, many people asked me, "Are you going to sell your flat from Wadi?" I said, "No, not on my grave."
No way, right?
So I'm not going to do that. So anyway, coming back to your question, yeah, Talmakiwadi has been, I would say, the foundation building blocks for me,
Hmm.
both in terms of personality development and the drama specifically. Right from my childhood, my actually I was interviewed by Hanga Saraswat Spotlight, want to say,
Yeah.
in New Jersey. So they had interviewed me as well. I mentioned there. My uncle Mohan Beltangdi,
Hmm.
who was also in Wadi, he and Ramesh Trasi and Avinash Trasi and those old timers whom
Yeah.
I kind of grew up watching their dramas.
Hmm.
So, and then of course I started participating in dramas myself. Not just dramas, for a couple of years, I was also active in the KSA,
Yeah.
in their sports committee, and handling the sports scheduling and organization during Diwali and stuff like that. So Diwali was the best time of the year for
Yeah.
Wadiites. In those days, gone are those days. At least now, I don't think it's that active,
True.
but we were very, very, very active. And everybody from my age group will definitely remember that. Uh,
Absolutely.
so yes, it has been a building block, and Wadi is still a part of me. It will always be a part of me.
Absolutely. For those who are new to Talmakiwadi, very rare that an Amchi doesn't know what is Talmakiwadi. But anyway, let me tell you, Talmakiwadi is a complex building of 13 buildings plus. It has its own, Konkani community in and around, and that's a place where me and Sanjay we were born and we lived through life absolutely, and it's never ever going to be separated ever. So that's a place in South Bombay, and well, it's a great place to be. So that's Talmakiwadi for you guys. So let's come to the movie Tarpan, Sanjay. Amazing movie. We've been hearing amazing, very positive, the reviews on the movie. The most important part is it's a Konkani movie. Can you share a little more about it as to first, even the fact that how did you even get to know of did somebody reach out to you for the acting role, and maybe then about the movie itself.
Sure. This movie I got by total accident. I have to admit that. I have never been looking around for anything to do with films, and it just so happened that this producer had put an ad in WhatsApp in many groups saying that he's looking for actors for this film. And since it was a low budget film, he couldn't go through an agent and all that, so he had put an ad in WhatsApp. One of my common friends who saw that ad, just sent it to me and said, casually, why don't you apply? I said,
Yeah.
I can't leave my job and come there for shooting. But in any case, I applied.
Hmm.
And I got a call from the director saying, send me some clips. I sent him some clips of our plays that we do here in Konkani.
Hmm.
And then he said that, most of your, all looks like all plays that you've done in Chicago and around in the US are all comedy, but this is a serious play, a
Hmm.
serious movie. So can you send me some serious? I said, I have it in Marathi
Yeah.
because here I've been acting on Marathi stage, Hindi stage, and a little bit of English stage as well.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I sent him one of my Marathi stage performances. I had performed the role of Nata Samrat.
Ah. Okay.
So Tajay clip to be or not to be, that was one of the famous clips. So I
Yeah.
had sent that and immediately said, though you are in from the US, our budget is low, but then we want you to do this role. So therefore, we'll kind of shift our budget around a little bit, and
Hmm.
that's how I got selected.
Wonderful.
And the movie was so very professionally done in terms
Hmm.
of shooting.
Hmm.
The whole movie was shot in 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks actually.
Hmm.
And then, of course, I had to go back after 2 months for the voice dubbing
Yeah.
in Bangalore. But the
Hmm.
movie was shot in Mulki and
Uh-huh.
our surrounding areas. Now, movie is very, very, I would say it's relevant to everybody.
Hmm.
I have had about 7, 8 shows in the US, one show in Toronto. In India, there have been many shows which have happened. Two have happened in Mumbai and many in Bangalore and Mangalore.
Hmm.
And people have really kind of connected to it.
Okay.
So father and son play the major role. So I play the role of the father.
Hmm.
And Anuj Nayak, he's a popular crime patrol star. He's
Hmm.
a sub-inspector of crime patrol.
Hmm.
So he
Hmm.
plays my son.
Okay.
So I and the lady who played my wife, Meera
Hmm.
and Empalli, we were the only two Chitrapur Saraswat Brahmins in it,
Uh-huh.
CSBs.
Okay.
Everybody else was GSB, and movie is in GSB.
Yeah.
So
The
I had to
Konkani
speak
dialect is
both me and,
GSB. Okay.
sorry,
The Konkani dialect is the GSB one?
GSB dialect,
Hmm.
yes. So me and Meera had to speak in the GSB dialect.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of people were fairly impressed as to how we got the dialect perfect in the movie.
Wonderful.
So, but only two of us were the CSBs in that, and it has done well. It has done not only the shows, but then New Delhi Film Festival, it won the Best Regional Film Award.
Mm-hmm.
There are a couple of other festivals where we have been nominated, but the
Okay.
festivals have not happened yet, so we don't know whether we'll get an award.
Yeah.
We may.
Yeah.
But one more very prestigious award is the Dada Saheb Phalke Puraskar.
Uh-huh. Wow.
We
Okay.
won the Best Regional Film Award at the Dada Saheb Phalke Puraskar.
Wonderful.
So,
Okay.
so that is another very prestigious award
Yeah.
which the movie got.
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise, we have been submitted for the Toronto International Film Festival, where we have been nominated. The
Hmm.
Malaysian International Film Festival, which happens in August, where we've been nominated again.
Yeah.
And there are many others where we have applied and we are waiting to hear from them. So
Absolutely.
the whole
Wonderful.
focus of the producer is to, submit to as many film festivals as possible.
Yeah, that's really great to know. In fact, I wanted to know about the fact that you have been a illustrious stage actor over the years, but moving on into a cinema version of it, acting, did it need you to change your acting skill sets? What kind of challenges did you come across, and you adapted to it?
Cinema and stage are two different ball games in terms of
Yeah.
acting.
Hmm.
But I would say that in general, a thumb rule is that most stage actors do pretty well in cinema,
Hmm.
but the vice versa is not necessarily true.
Uh-huh.
So what I had to do is to tone down
Hmm.
my acting.
Hmm.
To many people said, your acting in the movie is so natural.
Hmm.
But then what happens is I had to tone it down drastically because on stage you tend to exaggerate your emotions, the way you speak, because it has to reach the last person on the last row.
Yeah.
So you tend to exaggerate. You tend to, speak louder,
Hmm.
emote more, your
Yeah.
eyes more open,
Yeah.
and all that. But on stage, on film, you have to be very subtle.
Hmm.
And so the first couple of days were kind of challenging, where the director used to tell me, Saukur ma'am, 60% kami, 40% kami.
Wow,
So
that's
he's,
really, yeah,
you know,
yeah, yeah.
and then first couple of days I got the hang of it, and then after that it was fine.
Wonderful.
But the
Hmm.
totally new thing,
Yeah.
which theater actor does not do, which
Hmm.
has to be done in movies, is the voice dubbing part.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
Because in theater, there's no concept of voice dubbing, right? It's
Absolutely.
you're on stage, you talk, and that's it.
Yeah.
But here we have to go back, we have to listen,
Hmm.
your whatever you said on a microphone, on a headphone,
Yeah.
the huge mic in front of you in a soundproof room, and you
Yeah.
have to repeat the same dialogue as you had
Yeah.
said it,
That is going to be a
with the
very
same
different.
emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine. Yeah.
So
And then
that was
you already
another
shot it
challenge.
some time back, and now you're dubbing much later, right? So
Yeah, yeah. After all the editing is done, so it takes about 3, 4 months for editing, and then when the movie is ready, that's when we do the dubbing, and you have
yeah.
to emote exactly the same way. So
Hmm.
that was a learning exercise for me,
Uh-huh. Okay.
as far as films is concerned.
Yeah.
Acting
Okay.
wise, yes, toning down was a learning exercise.
Yeah. You mentioned that the movie has been screened in pretty many parts of the world, United States, and even in India and many places. How has been the audience responses? And I'm sure you've been a part of a couple of these shows where you actually been there with the audiences. Post the movie, what's been the feedback you guys have received?
One feedback which one person said, jokingly, was that, along with the ticket, you should have given each of us, box of tissues.
Imagine. Yeah.
So, anyway, jokes apart, it was very well received because everybody
Hmm.
related the situations in the movie to
Hmm.
their own relationships in their lives
Hmm.
in some form or the other.
Hmm.
So everybody goes through relationship issues.
Yeah.
The extent or the level of aggravation in those relationships may be mild to severe, but
Hmm.
there in everybody's relationship, as we all know, right? In every family,
Hmm.
it happens.
Yeah.
So everybody could relate to it.
Hmm.
Now, what we have done is typically after every show, especially in the US, I've done that. I have recorded people's feedbacks,
Exactly. Yeah.
and we have we've sent it to our producer and director to say that, here's a feedback of
Yeah.
some of the people.
Hmm.
And you know so we have all got very, very positive. There's not been a single negative feedback that the movie was too long or too melodramatic. It in fact, people said that without making it too melodramatic like a Bollywood movie, you
Yeah.
still made us cry.
Hmm. Wonderful. Yeah. That's an amazing
So
appreciation.
that
Yeah.
was, that was a compliment in itself. So
Ah.
that way, the movie's been very nicely written and directed by a very young director called Devdas Nayak.
Mm-hmm.
He's done a fantastic job. He himself did the editing as well after the
Ah.
movie was shot.
Hmm.
So he's basically all in one, and
Wonderful.
he's done a great job. He must be in his early 30s.
Hmm.
That's about it. Very, very young guy.
Yeah. Okay. In fact, you guys have released the movie was released, I believe, in India. It started off at Mangaluru, if I'm not wrong, and then it moved
Right.
on to a couple of places, including Dombivli and even in Pune, and of course in the United States in a couple of places. Any more plans of this movie release in Mumbai? Because especially Mumbaikars in and around our places, I'm sure there is going to be, I mean, if I was talking to my couple of friends here, I'm on a visit here in India. I was talking to a couple of friends in Wadi, and I was telling ki, ham movie, Dombivli ashil ha aikal hai, Pune ashil hai. Itland, affect ashil aslari, ek bus, doan bus organize kono, lok vartashili. That's what, Patya was all about. So, any plans to
Right, right, right.
release here in this side of the world?
Yes. In fact, to get the facts straight, the first international release of the movie, first show ever of the movie was in Chicago.
Okay.
So I did that in way back in November.
Uh-huh.
And in India, they started showing only in January,
Okay.
December and January. But I
Hmm.
showed the first show in Chicago. I had
Hmm.
two shows. Then I showed it in Detroit and California. And just yesterday, I showed it in Boston.
Uh-huh.
And now, yes, you're right. Mangalore, many shows have happened. Bangalore has happened. Dombivli and today Thane happened.
Okay.
But I would say that I really want to proudly mention the fact to you and your audience today that KSA,
Uh-huh.
Canada Saraswat Association, has decided to sponsor a full show
Uh.
on June 16th
Oh, wonderful.
at
Okay.
9:30 a.m. in the Dadar Inox Theatre.
I'm sure for you it's a 360-degree, right? I mean, that's where it started in the first place in KSA.
Absolutely, yeah. So because it's KSA doing it, I'm going to be coming there just for the show. I'll be there for
Oh,
2 days in India.
awesome. Amazing. That's superb. uh, Beyond acting, beyond stage, beyond movies, I mean, I'm sure many of our community doesn't know you are an absolutely amazing person, even at professional level. Today, you are the chief revenue and marketing officer at Blue Sky Innovations. You started this journey, as you said, 30 years back in the United States. Tell us a little bit about your professional journey, because I'm sure it's maybe a challenging now. What comes first in life? I'm somewhat similar. It's a bit of dual hatting. What comes first in life, and how do you manage it?
See, that's a tough call. As long as it was only drama,
Yeah,
it was easy.
yeah.
So in last 30 years, I've moved from different companies, and two companies, Indusa Technical Corporation and Bitwise. These two
Hmm.
companies have been the best companies for me to work with.
Hmm.
Where I spent Indusa, I spent 6 years. Bitwise, I spent 5 years. They were great companies to work in, and all along I've been in sales.
Yeah.
So providing, selling IT solutions to different clients,
Hmm.
provided by these two companies. And currently also I'm doing that. I'm Chief Revenue and Marketing Officer of Blue Sky. We sell predominantly Salesforce services.
Hmm.
So I've been doing that for 30 years. Uh, when I shot this movie, the company that I was working on at that time, they were nice enough with me saying that, we really don't care. If when you're in sales, what matters is what revenue you deliver, right?
Yeah.
So if you can take on the responsibility, go ahead and do it.
Hmm.
So my in the 2.5 weeks of shooting that I did in Mulki, my time used to be 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. shooting.
Hmm.
Have a quick dinner in
Hmm.
the room,
Hmm.
and then 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. I used to work US
Wow.
daytime.
Wow. Okay.
3 to 7
That's
a.m.
something
go
which
to sleep,
nobody
and
knows.
then back to shooting at 9 a.m.
Wow. That's
But
amazing.
now what has happened is, with this movie, people have approached me for others as well,
Hmm.
and here locally, I'm getting approached for TV ads and
Yeah.
commercials and stuff like that. So
Okay.
that's keeping me busy. So I don't know. I may have to take a decision to retire and pursue this as a hobby, which also pays.
Okay. Yeah. I can understand the duality of and getting kind of decision time somewhere. So, but yeah,
Yeah,
equally
yeah,
interesting. Both the jobs, rather, both the piece of work that you do are equally exciting. So it must be quite a bit of a
yeah,
challenge.
yeah.
But do you ever think that you
Yeah,
would
the time.
sorry, did you ever think that you would ever be on the silver screen in life?
No, never, never. As I said, I've never been trying ever.
Yeah.
And this thing, Tarpana just came to me, as I explained to you earlier, as a by accident. And I said, "Chalo, kya jata hai? Let me apply and see what happens." I know I'm not going to get it because I'm here. They cannot afford me
Yeah.
for me to fly there and all that.
True.
So I said, "Chalo," and in fact, it happened.
Hmm.
So uh, I never expected. I never expected anything of this sort to happen.
Hmm.
That is for a fact.
Okay. Tell us a
And
little bit
now,
about, yeah, yeah, carry on. Yeah.
no, I said, and now I'm at a situation where I have to decide between two careers.
True, true. And at an age like this, that's amazing, right?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Tell me, you've been acting in a couple of plays, even in Chicago area, and over the years, it's not just recent. What kind of plays you've been into of late?
Uh, couple of things. One is our Konkani Association. So we do
Hmm.
small skits in Konkani.
Yeah,
Those are only at a local level.
yeah.
Then Konkani, we have our once in 2 3 years, or sometimes in 4 years, we have an annual meet,
Hmm.
Konkani Sammelan. So we do
Yeah.
some skits there. But my more involved role is with Maharashtra Mandal,
Hmm.
because we do a lot of Marathi plays here.
Uh-huh.
So whatever Marathi plays we do in Chicago, we tend to take it to other neighboring cities like, St. Louis and Detroit and things like that.
Yeah.
We get called to perform there.
Hmm.
So the Konkani skits have been all comedy,
Hmm.
but the Marathi has been a mix. It has
Hmm.
been a comedy. It has been very, very serious. Like I said, Nata Samrat, and a mix of both, etc. We also have, actually, I was one of the founding members. We formed a company in 2017 called Dramatech USA,
Hmm.
which produces uh, only Hindi plays. So we present Hindi plays.
Okay.
So we kind of present Hindi plays with a proper audience and tickets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's a proper production house.
Hmm.
So I've been doing Hindi. In fact, just recently on May 4th,
Hmm.
we performed a Hindi play,
Uh-huh.
and sorry, April 6th was a
Hmm.
Hindi play,
Hmm.
and May 4th we did a Marathi play here,
Uh-huh.
uh, which was directed by a famous theater personality called Anupama Dharkar. She used to
Uh-huh.
be called as Rekha
Okay.
in the good old days,
Hmm.
and so I've done a lot of plays with her as well here, and there are
Wonderful.
different other people here with whom I've done plays.
Okay. One question before we leave. What about the American audiences, international audiences, apart from Indians? Have they been there to watch the movie? Because I know the movie has its English subtitles. So if they've been there, what kind of feedback responses have you received?
Uh, in fact, I can even share the link of that responses video that I have,
Yeah.
where some of my office colleagues, some of my personal friends who are non-Indian,
Yeah.
whites. They have
Uh-huh.
seen it, and they have said that it was very touching. They really loved the movie. So their responses have also been very positive.
Wonderful.
Um, yeah, so they have seen it. In fact, even in one of the theaters in Chicago where I showed it, the technician who actually ran the movie for me,
Hmm. Hmm.
he came and said, normally I don't watch. This time I decided to just sit and watch to what you guys do,
Hmm.
and then I couldn't leave the place.
Uh,
I could understand the language, but the subtitles told me everything, and I could relate it with my personal experiences with my family. So
yeah.
it's been very, very positive, both
Amazing.
Indian and non-Indian.
Amazing. I'm looking forward to watch the movie. Hopefully, you have a Hong Kong release, but let's see in due course. So, and of course, I'm sure Singapore also, because you have a lot of Konkani community out there in these countries
Yes,
as well.
yes,
So, hopefully,
yes,
one
yes.
day. So, will there be a Malaysia release as well along with the film festival? Because they will have to even showcase the movie, right?
Yeah. So one of the rules of the film festivals is that we cannot have a public screening before the festival is over.
Okay.
So in Malaysia, if I want to show it, as it has to be after August 10th and 11th.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
because they
That's.
will be screening it at the festival with tickets and all that.
Mm.
So they let us know the details, and then we can advertise that people can go there and watch the movie
Okay, because that's going to
at
be
their event.
interesting. Yeah, especially because if you have people from Singapore who would love to be in Malaysia, it's much easier. They can
Correct,
actually watch it. So,
correct,
yeah, I'm sure.
right.
Sanjay Savkur, thank you so much for being on this episode of the podcast, Aamchi Legends. It's amazing to have somebody from Talmakiwadi, and I'm very excited. It's almost about 7:38 now in India, but it was really worth waking up on this day, election day in India today, Mumbai, and talking to
Great,
you in
great,
Chicago.
great, great. Nice talking to you as well. And all the best to you. Hope you make the right choice of your elections.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And we'll look forward to watching the movie, and all the very best from all of us, in your successful, both professional and your passion career on acting. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Sanjay. Nice talking to you, Santosh. Bye.
Well, with that, we come to the end of this episode of this podcast, Aamchi Legends. Uh, Big thanks to Samiir Halady, who's been the backbone for this podcast, which is the Aamchi Legends. He's the one who's conceptualized this podcast, and of course, takes care of the marketing of this episodes as well. From me, Santosh Sirur, and my guest, Sanjay Savkur. Thank you and take care. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.